Captain Midnight.
After 10 years and nearly 20 movies, we're finally ready to meet the grumpy purple guy in the sky, the Mad Titan Thanos. It's kind of crazy to think about the fact that he's been lingering in the background of the MCU since way back in 2012. When you build a character up for that long, audiences are going to expect a pretty big payoff. But superhero movies don't always have the best luck with CGI villains, and there's always a chance that he could just be another bland, forgettable antagonist. Which leads us to Avengers Infinity War. A trailer has just been released that left me excited and may just tell us a little bit about how the film is going to deal with Thanos.
You belong to the Merry Marvel Marching Society.
My first impression when watching the trailer was being blown away by just how many characters were in it. I mean, sure, I knew they would be, but seeing a cast list and seeing the whole team in action together are two very different things. One of my favorite things about team-up stories is seeing characters who would usually never have a reason to interact have to put up with each other. What will Bruce Banner and Doctor Strange think of each other? Or Black Panther and Captain America? I'm looking forward to seeing all that stuff. But to be honest, the massive cast worries me a little too. One thing that I don't think gets talked about enough is how much of a minor miracle the script to that first Avengers movie was. Sure, Whedon's screenplay was not without its flaws, but overall it's kind of amazing how it brought together so many disparate characters and elements in a way that almost felt effortless. But then that fell apart a little bit in Age of Ultron. So going into Infinity War, I was curious what changes had been made to kind of course correct and shake things up. And one thing that shows that they might be doing that is easy to miss in the trailer, but may be really important to the film itself. Proxima Midnight, a member of Thanos' Black Order, shows up for just a little bit, which I'm excited about. One thing that I get tired of in superhero movies is seeing the heroes fight wave after wave of a disposable army, and I'm sure Infinity War will have some of that. Judging by these four-armed alien guys, who I'm guessing are supposed to be the Outriders or maybe the Vrelnexians. So that element, for better or worse, seems to be intact. But the inclusion of the Black Order gives me some hope, because they could act as the Carl to Thanos' Hans Gruber. And by having kind of an evil team with a common purpose, I'm hoping the villains will get a deeper characterization than, say, Ultron did.
Shanti! Impressive! He sure puts Mysterio's hocus pocus to shame.
One thing I really enjoyed about the trailer was how it finally had Thanos getting down and dirty, literally clobbering Iron Man with his fists. After years of making jokes that he's just the guy who sits around in his giant ugly chair, that was definitely nice to see. Because one thing that's going to be very difficult to sell is that this one guy could easily defeat the entire Avengers team. And sure, you could hype up Thanos as much as you want, but until we truly see a display of his power, it's going to be tough to buy that so many heroes teaming up couldn't just easily take him down. And I think showing Thanos' strength is part of what this trailer sets up, with the shot of a hopeless Tony Stark, and Vision's Infinity Stone getting ripped from his head. The trailer isn't revealing too much, but if you know anything about Thanos, or even some of the rumors about what he's going to do in this movie, which I don't want to really spoil here, I think they're setting up a pretty deadly villain on a scale that we haven't seen in the MCU yet. But is he going to be an interesting character? That's, of course, a completely different question, and what I'm worried about most. Infinity War has a ton of characters to balance, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Thanos not get as much screen time as we might assume, because of just how many heroes need to get their time to shine. But after years of build-up, I really hope that Marvel has a take on the character and his motivations that are worth exploring. Watching a character who went from a pacifist to a nihilist who worships and loves the literal physical embodiment of death could be some pretty interesting, heady stuff, if given enough room in the movie to be explored. And with this movie kind of being part one of a two-part movie cycle, I'm hoping that they really dig into that.
Marvel has always been known for creating some of the greatest villains in all of comicdom, but we've really outdone ourselves with the mega monster you're about to meet.
My guess for how this first movie will play out is that different members of the Avengers will group together, like say Doctor Strange and Spider-Man, in New York and have their own subplots facing off against members of the Black Order, while the largest and most important battle takes place in Wakanda, with Thanos trying to get the very last Infinity Stone. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a lot more to it than that, but I think it only makes sense that such a large-scale epic would take place across the entire globe, in almost all the big MCU locations. Thanos is the biggest question mark for me, because I haven't really seen a fully CG villain in a superhero movie that I liked all that much. I really like Josh Brolin, the actor doing the actual performance, so I'm hoping that finally changes here. But I'm still just not so sure. Still, there's a lot to like in this trailer, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't excited to see Spider-Man mixing it up with Thanos, or that awesome group shot near the end. So overall, I'm pretty optimistic. This may just be the most ambitious film Marvel Studios has ever attempted, and with any luck, they might just pull it off. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Sorry this video is a little shorter than usual. I promise I'll be back with a longer one next week. But in the meantime, I want to hear what you guys thought of the trailer. Who are you most excited to see? I'll be checking out the comments below.